Good morning. My name is LeAnne Freesemann, and this is Restoring Word Ministries. And I've got a word for you today about trusting God. I'm reading out of the book of Luke this morning, and I want to talk a little bit about a priest named Zacharias and his wife Elizabeth. They were doing all the right things. They served God, they loved God, they were righteous before God, they were serving in the temple. And they just didn't understand, they had grown older, why they hadn't had a child. And it became a thing of great difficulty for them. And they really began to question the Lord and question his timing. So it was that while he was serving as a priest before God in the order of his division, according to the custom of the priesthood, his lot fell to burn incense. And when he went into the temple of the Lord, now this is out of Luke, I'm in verse 6. And the whole multitude of the people was praying outside at the hour of incense, and then an angel appeared to him, standing at the right side of the altar of incense. And when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and he fell down upon him. But the angel said to him, "Do not be afraid, Zacharias, for your prayer is heard, and your wife Elizabeth is going to bear you a son, and you shall call his name John. And you will have joy and gladness, and many will rejoice at his birth. And he will turn many of the children of Israel to the Lord for their God, to the Lord their God." And it's interesting. And Zacharias then said to the angel, "How shall I know this? For I am an old man, and my wife is well advanced in years." And the angel answered him and said, "I am Gabriel, who stands before the presence of God, and was sent to speak to you and to bring you these glad tidings. But behold, you will be mute and not able to speak until the day that these things take place, because you didn't believe my words, which will be fulfilled in their own time." Now, I love that God is compassionate with us as believers. And because you know why? A lot of us speak stuff and say stuff we shouldn't. And unfortunately, there are going to be times when doubt and unbelief comes out of your mouth. But God is merciful. He's full of mercy. The angel said to him, "You will be mute until the time that he comes forth." Now, you got to figure right there, Elizabeth had to know that this was pretty darn serious if her husband couldn't talk to her. I mean, all women love their husbands to talk to them. And all of a sudden, he is not going to be allowed to speak. Because what? God is going to do something supernatural. And he's going to close your mouth or while it's coming to pass. He's going to deal with your mouth while it comes to pass. I think the other thing that's really encouraging about all of this is, if you love God and you're serving God and you're trying to get pregnant, it's all in God's time. It's just not time. You see, John the Baptist had to be born at the time when Jesus was going to be alive on the earth, because John the Baptist was going to carry a prophetic message of who Jesus was and what he was called to do, and he was going to declare that this is the Messiah. What if John the Baptist had been born at the wrong time, according to when Zacharias and Elizabeth wanted it to happen? God's time is always better than our timing. Things don't make sense at times when we're walking through them, but God is good, and he does have a plan. And if you will trust him in the middle of something that seems heartbreaking and discouraging and despairing, he will turn it for good if you will just trust him. And you know what? If you mess it up and you screw it up, even though you're a person of significance or whatever in the ministry, do you know that God is faithful and he'll forgive you? Thank God. He's loving and merciful, and he loves you in spite of all the things that you may say or do that could potentially break his heart. Trust the Lord, and you know what? Trust his timing. It might not be your timing. It definitely was never my timing. But he's good, and it will come to pass in his good pleasure and in his good time. If you know someone today that is discouraged and doesn't understand the timing of God, and maybe is believing for a pregnancy to happen, share this with them today. This will be encouraging. It's all going to happen, but it will happen in His timing. Thank you, and subscribe, and just thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Have a great day.